what is the right etiquette to set your boundary in place?
By etiquette, I just mean how you can kind of combat an awkward situation also gracefully.
Most of these personal comments, unfortunately, are more targeted towards women than men. Arey, tu to bahut moti ho gayi hai.
Ladies, if they ask someone, hey, arey, you have put on a lot of weight, it's very casual, right? Be friendly, be nice, but know your limits.
You have really built a very powerful personal brand. How do you do this?
If you are a content creator, you don't have to chase numbers. You have to chase your passion.
Any tools?
I made one video on how to have Rajma Chawal, basically Indian meal in a formal setting. Somebody saw my video on Instagram and they posted that video on Twitter. Twitter used to be a place of bashing people.
Now,
And I was like, I'm famous.
hi everyone, this is Stuti and I'm here to bring you another great episode of the Because She Can podcast. Meet Manik Kaur. She's India's first certified grooming and etiquette coach, and she's also a TEDx speaker and has over 500k followers on Instagram.
Thank you so much, Stuti, for having me. The pleasure's all mine.
An etiquette coach, and that too India's first etiquette coach.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to choose this career path? How did that come about?
When I was growing up, my grandmother was a very strict lady.
Okay.
She would always say, oh, this is not how you girls supposed to sit. You're not supposed to sit with your legs wide open and, sit straight, chew properly, and sit like this, stand like that. And I would think that, there is a problem with me for everything. My grandmother seems to think that I can't do anything right. It was horrible back then. But then that was a generation, where we listened to our parents and we would get checked for everything and we would try and inculcate those things. So for me, it started there.
Okay.
That training started there. But as I grew up, as I got married and everything else, I started realizing that the world around me was also changing very quickly. People started finding these kind of things as very obsolete. People said that, oh, you need to chill a bit, Manik. Who is so proper these days?
Like the casual culture.
Casual culture, exactly. So, people said, you need to chill, you need to be more casual. And why are you sitting like this? Why are you standing? Why are you so conscious when you're talking? While when I wasn't.
You were just being you.
Myself, yeah. And then when you go to a convent school, it becomes part of your personality. It gets ingrained in your whole demeanor. So this is what happened with me, and I started feeling like a misfit. So I think somewhere it is everybody's story. And for me, this is how it triggered me. And for the longest time, I tried to kind of mold myself
and change yourself to be accepting to, I'm guessing, your friends and peers around you.
Exactly. On the contrary, it is such a, I would say, niche product abroad. Like, they charge you an arm and a leg for one course that, women take there. And they say that, okay, these women are preparing themselves for the higher society, how to navigate themselves there.
Does that still exist?
It does. It surely does. Because, I'm sure you see movies like Pretty Woman where Julia Roberts goes and she's with Richard Gere in a restaurant and she doesn't know how to navigate. Remember that scene?
And she's judged by the haute couture brand.
And whatever comes at the table, she's not able to have it in an elegant manner. She's not able to conduct herself well. So she kind of, she's awkward there. So people definitely abroad understand the need because it's a part of their lifestyle where they have to have all these things in place. But coming back to India, I felt that it's not just about being in a restaurant. It's about how we are behaving on a daily basis. And something as basic as when I see Indians taking a flight. I don't want to sound mean here, but it only comes from a place of ignorance, I feel. Where, people are calling the cabin crew again and again, the wait staff again and again in a restaurant, or in a flight creating too much of noise,
Or like
for freebies.
the seatbelt sign is still on and people get out. But I also like how you said that maybe they just don't know any better and there's not been anybody to tell them
Absolutely.
what's the better.
Exactly. So I think that is what I felt. There was a gap. There was a void because these things are not taught in our schools and colleges, and they are basic life skills. And I was telling you, Stuti, that when you may not be as qualified, two people sitting in an interview room, I would say in a waiting room, one may be more qualified than the other. But if the other has better manners, that is the person who will catch the hiring manager's attention more than the person who's more qualified.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up because now with the younger generations, the Gen Zs, even in a workplace, it's about like bro and dude and dressing coolly. So why is it still relevant for the school generation, this generation where everything from the workplace to your friends' dynamics, all sort of relationships, and the way you talk is all very chilled out and cool. Why is it still relevant?
I think it's a very relevant question again.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's more relevant now than ever.
Okay.
Than ever.
Why do you say that?
I say that because, again, going back to what you just said, that people have become so relaxed and chilled out, nobody minds this or nobody minds that. But they do. They actually do. You know, when they are behaving, like I know so many women who say that I'm very honest and I say what I have to say. I mean, I'm honest and, you know, I'm harsh, but so be it. But I am honest and I'm straightforward. Now, when it comes to you, you think it's cool because you're straightforward when you're giving it to the other person. But when the other person dares to be straightforward with you, it won't go down well with you.
Yeah, you're upset.
You're upset.
You want to hide.
Exactly. If you're talking about someone else in someone's absence, that's all right. That's like who minds these days. It's okay. These are casual conversations only. But if you're being talked about in a room where you're not there, again, you'll have a problem.
Then it's not harmless gossip.
It's not harmless. And so I think as people, we have double standards like that.
Yes.
We say it's okay to be cool, but we don't want to be taken for granted. Like we may say that, okay, there is no gender now in an office, but you would not like your male colleague to keep his hand wherever he wants to on your shoulder while working. You may or may not like it. You would want some personal space with your colleague. You would not want him to lean on your shoulder while talking to you, or behave in a certain manner with you at a party, or anywhere else for that matter, even in work culture as well. Like you said, there you feel that, oh, now how do I tell this person my boundaries? So there is everything is there. You can be very friendly. No one is asking you to be stiff. No one is telling you to be stiff in an office. Be friendly, be nice, but know your limits. That is the etiquette involved. Know what you can ask, know what you can't ask. Like there are these people who ask personal questions in office. So, okay, it's a casual place, but personal questions are personal questions.
Yeah.
Relationship questions you cannot ask.
Keep it outside the office.
Yeah, you cannot discuss somebody's relationship with someone else. It's a no-no, even though it's a very cool, so-called cool office environment. Even outside the office, if we say. These aunties, so to speak, or these ladies, if they ask someone, hey, Arey, you have put on a lot of weight. It's very casual, right? But it's not very pleasant for the person on the other end.
I'm very glad you brought it up because I feel that most of these personal comments, unfortunately, are more targeted towards women than men. Arey, tu to bahut moti ho gayi hai. And one of the most amazing questions all single, शादी कब करोगे?
और शादी कर ली तो बच्चे
बच्चे कब करोगे? If a girl has one child, दूसरा कब
हो रहा है? हाँ.
So I mean, these questions are gonna keep coming, but as a woman, like, how can we, what is the right etiquette to set your boundary in place?
When somebody throws an awkward question at you, how do you handle it gracefully? I think by etiquette, I just mean how you can kind of combat an awkward situation also gracefully and without letting yourself down or without, insulting someone else as well. When I talk about etiquette, it's nothing else. It's just being intelligent enough, considerate enough, kind enough,
Mindful enough
Yes.
of your environment and
Yes.
surroundings.
You dodge the question. That's one thing. Or you can just say that I'll let you know whenever I will plan my kid and surely let you know. And if somebody is doing it consistently, you would say, you really seem to be, you really seem to be that interested. With a smile. I've actually done a couple of reels on the same thing. So
I love that. And Manik, I think probably that's the reason why most of your reels hit like 1 million mark. And for those of you who don't know, Manik is literally an Instagram sensation. You have really built a very powerful personal brand when it comes to the realm of social media. And like you said, your content is very, very relevant to the Indian context, and probably that is why you gained so much fame on social media. But how do you do this? How do you manage your social media content? And also, how do you manage to keep it relevant and each reel gain that level of virality?
it means a lot to me because I started out all alone, just believing in this idea.
Okay.
Never thought it can get viral or anything like that. I never thought even one person will follow my page. I don't want to say follow me. And I don't, like I told you earlier, that for me, it's not followers, it's my community, my family.
I love that.
My Insta family.
Yeah.
Because they've actually grown like a family. I started in 2021 Jan. And
Oh, wow.
just quite recent, yeah.
Yeah. And it takes a lot to put yourself out there on that unforgiving world of social media.
Yes, you're so scared of being judged. First
Yeah.
of all, from your friends and family only.
Like, log kya kahenge? How did you battle that?
Initially, the first hurdle was me myself. How would I, like I told you, I did not know how to use Instagram as a platform, but I just thought that, okay, Facebook is dying out. So my daughter, I just asked, how do you upload a story? She told me once, and then I would forget again. And I would go run. Oh, I've forgotten how do I? She said, Mama, I've told you twice again, you've forgotten. And I'm like, I'm an old woman now, come on. So she said, okay, fine, I'll teach you now, but now you please do it yourself. The only thing I felt was that how will my family react? Becoming a public figure, opening a public account, because public account there's no screening. Who's coming in, who's coming, who's not.
Who's saying what? What are the comments?
Yes.
Yeah.
I started in 2021 Jan.
Okay.
And
oh, wow.
Just quite recent, yeah.
Yeah.
And in December, I had started thinking that, okay, now I should do something which is more, I used to write blogs earlier on Facebook, write articles for Times of India, blogs again.
And probably that is why your content was so real and it connected with a lot of people.
And yes, maybe that could be the case. Because I
think that is the case. Because, a lot of people on social media think, especially after they gain a few numbers, that everybody, like their followers, are stupid and they will not understand if this is a promoted reel or a scripted reel. But now, people on Instagram, there's so many content creators, there's so much content. You can very instantly find the real versus the scripted content, and nobody wants to see that anymore.
So this is exactly what I felt was happening around us. I also give this example time and again, that how come the world has become toxic? How are we using the word toxic for people when it was a term used for plastics, chemicals, or harmful substances?
Toxic waste.
Toxic waste. All these years, growing up, we learned this term. But today I see this word being used for people.
Yeah, toxic
Yeah.
masculinity, toxic relationships,
toxic relatives, frenemies, yeah, friends, toxic friends.
Yeah.
So this is what I wanted to give a voice to it. And then I thought that nobody's reading about it, but let's just make some video content on it, little by little. And I think relatability is the first thing that helps the content go further.
Very true.
Getting pushed by algorithm. But like you said, if you copy paste the content, the audience is very smart to understand if it's your content or somebody else's content, how much you resonate with it, how much of it is actually you. So I think that respect, yeah, it is important that if you are a content creator, you don't have to chase numbers. You have to chase your passion. Because if you do that passionately, if you put yourself out there, it will kind of create a connect with you.
I love that. Chase your passion and the numbers will follow.
Yeah.
But any trolls, any negative comments?
Yes. I think a lot of people know about it.
What's the worst anybody has ever said?
It's been about 2 years, I think, if not more. 2 years, yeah. Then I got very brutally trolled.
Okay.
Brutally.
Like what did they
Like
say?
in the sense, I'll tell you, it is hilarious, but it taught me a lot in life. So basically, I was just holding my phone in my hand. You have to listen to this. And, I was about to search the meaning of a word on Google. Suddenly, I see, under that Google tab, you have news. Just below that tab, there was this little picture with the story. And it turned out to be Times of India news.
Okay.
I was like, this woman, etiquette coach, blah, 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 whatever. And I didn't read the news first, but I saw that little picture. Yeah, I said, okay, this is very familiar. And then I said, this is me. Is it? I said, me? And then I clicked on it.
Yeah.
And this whole article popped up, which said things like that this woman is trying to teach I had made one video on how to have Rajma Chawal, basically Indian meal in a formal setting. Now, we see a lot of Indian people, with due respect, I would say, that they mix their Rajma Chawal, curd, salad, everything like this, and then they have.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, khane ka maza tab aata hai.
But the Indian way of eating.
Yeah, but I was actually teaching this for a formal setting. That when you go out, you don't pour the entire rajma on your rice or an entire curry on your rice. What you do is you take it in a bowl, in a katori, put it in your plate, everything. But take 1 spoon of, rajma or whatever, have it with rice and then put another spoon, then have. And don't mix up all of it like a khichdi. But only for the reason, no other reason, that it's not very pleasing for the person who's watching you.
And especially in a professional setup.
Yes.
These are not your near dear ones.
And Stuti, let's face it, there are people in your families who eat in a way that it's not very pleasing for the family also.
Yes.
Somebody saw my video on Instagram and they posted that video on Twitter. Twitter used to be a place of bashing people.
X now.
Yeah, X now.
I think it's still a place to bash
people up. So
I just get paid up for it now.
Yeah. And that person, I think maybe did it for fun or I don't know what, Stuti.
Yeah.
That person said, who is she to tell us कि हमें Indian खाना कैसे खाना चाहिए? हम
उनको viral जाना था.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of people know this for attention.
Yeah.
Because it's fun to make some fun comment and get attention from the rest of the public. Like people will go on liking that comment, जिसमें किसी के साथ आपने, you are kind of trying to get into a banter with somebody. So this one had posted and they wrote things like कि हम तो पूरा mountain बनाएंगे rice में. कौन रहता है ये होती कौन है हमें रोकने वाली? So I'll tell you what happened. When we obviously traced it backwards, he worked. So then they said that Twitter page, there was a massive trolling that happened. It actually happened on Twitter and Times of India was only reporting it. This incident.
Okay.
So this happened on Twitter and I have to tell you the whole thing. So they said we'll also make a gadda. जैसे सीमेंट में गड्ढा बनाते हैं, उस सीमेंट में उसके बीच में हम राजमा डालेंगे और इसको ऐसे खाएंगे. And I was like, okay. So I said, okay. I actually burst out laughing when I saw it.
Well, it is really comical. Like people have so much time to waste.
Yeah,
But
people
Rajma
have.
chawal.
Yeah, people. And I have, I think one of the best things that has happened to me in life is that I learned to laugh over things
Yeah.
which used to bother me. And I think with age does that to you. Every publication, like First Post, Times of India, Hindustan Times, Quint, you name the publication, India Today, She the People. I was like, I'm famous. What is
No friends with bad friends, guys.
yeah, sorry. Infamous is also being famous. But on the contrary, I mean, it actually, I want to thank people for everything bad that has happened to me has actually benefited in the long run. Like, I wasn't accepted by people. I started this career. I got trolled. Brute contacted me, Brute India. They contacted me and they said, we want your side of the story. Lovely. And when I put myself out there, took a beautiful interview, and that went on YouTube and on all the platforms. People started, writing such beautiful things. And in fact, I gained so many followers because they said, Arey, she's saying in a formal setting, bhai. This is the trolling episode that happened.
I love it. But I just want to touch upon this, that, you, and I love that you have used the word every time I've spoken to you, my community, not my followers. But there are a lot of people in a lot of different realms of content making where, this sort of influencer word, I feel it has a negative connotation. What do you feel about that?
So, influencer doesn't sit well with me either. I think because I don't like to call people my followers because I'm also following them, they're following me. I am because of them,
Yeah.
and I cannot have this follower and create a gap. We are here. So we are community. So that's one thing that, is so important to realize, because the day they are not there, you are nothing. Nothing.
Love that.
Yeah. So I think they are here and I'm here. I would say it's because of their power I rise.
I love that.
So no, but it's true.
Yeah.
Isn't
It's like with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
And I can see that that's exactly what you sort of do when it comes to your content creation. On a very different chain of thought, but because we're on Because She Can, what I feel as a woman, that, for little girls and little boys, when it comes to manners and etiquettes, the yardsticks are different. Like, you'll always see in an Indian household that the mother
boy gets away with
everything, and the mother is always just ऐसे खड़ी हो, ऐसे बैठ, ये पहनो, बाल होने चाहिए. But there are a lot of young moms listening who will be parents to both boys and girls. So I'm going to ask you, like, what are your thoughts on these different yardsticks, and what would you tell moms today?
It is true to a great extent, but I think it's kind of fading away.
Yes.
Our generation now is opening to the idea of equality in every sense of word.
Yes, very true.
So I think then the boundaries, or I would say the gap, is becoming lesser and lesser. And it's now, thankfully, to better parenting, that we have both the sexes, approaching this with an open mind. Now that's what I tell. Like, my son knows how to cook.
Okay.
Because it's a life skill.
Yeah.
He has to go out to study, even she has to. My daughter also has to go out to study. So every parent is realizing that. How much will you eat out? You need to know basic cooking to survive. It's a life skill. You need to make your own bed, whether you're a boy or you're a girl. You're staying alone in a hostel, you have to do it. So it's becoming a part of lifestyle as well, where everybody needs to fend for themselves. So we are giving those, in terms of parents also, we are letting children do their own work, whether it's a boy or a girl. So I look at it as a very healthy change now, And I think, that mindset is really, really, really coming up in a very good way. And I do see a lot of men supporting their wives
Yes.
in any, and so all of
Yeah,
that
let's
is
give where credit is due. That those are the positive
Yes.
changes that are happening.
Yes.
So, Manik, this is so funny talking about moms and daughters and etiquette. That so I told you earlier, my mom has been sending me your reels since 2 years plus. And today also, I met her in the morning before I left my house, and I was like, "Mom, I have a podcast with Manik. I'm going." All she tells me is, "Please ask her how should you be sitting at the podcast. Take tips on how you should be talking. Mom, are you hearing?"
Yeah, she does. You definitely do. You definitely do. See, I think you're very poised, very elegant the way you conduct yourself. Really, I'm telling you, I don't think I can
How
actually.
sweet. But in a setting like this, how should we actually be sitting?
So, I'll tell you, I got a little bit trolled for this also, though. Like if you ask me, the proper way they say is the, Duchess slant like this.
Okay.
And where you kind of put both your legs only for the reason that you come across as someone tall and you're not slouching. You're upright.
Yeah.
Your spine is like upright and straight, and
Okay.
you are you look more confident. It's just that, and your legs are supposed to be on one side.
Am I doing it? Okay.
A lot of us sit like I've been also sitting like this.
Hmm.
See, because maybe it's a little more comfortable right now. But what happens is, very often, I would say more often than not, people, when they tend to sit like this, their shoe is facing the back of their shoe, the sole is facing the other person. But, as a man, you're supposed to sit straight like this, with your hands like this, or in a relaxed way, and not facing your shoe, or you can even do this.
As a man as well?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
cross your ankles. You can cross your ankles. And as a woman also, you can cross your ankles and sit straight. There's no problem in that. You can, this is something you have to it's only from the space of concern that your shoe should not be facing. It's not very relaxed. Yes. Otherwise, a lot of people say that, no, ma'am, I say it's not good as a yoga pose. When you talk about yoga, a lot of yoga people tell me that it's not good for your spine to sit like that. So it's
In the
fine.
Duchess pose.
Yeah, in the Duchess slant, or even, when you are doing this. So it's not very comfortable for a lot of people to be used to sitting in a position like that. The only purpose is that your knee should not be coming, it should not be so
Yeah.
prominent that it's blocking the view
Okay.
of a person. Like it's
Yeah.
not very pleasing for the person to be looking at someone's knee
Rather than the face.
rather than the face.
Understood.
Yeah. So these
Yeah.
are the reasons why. But if you are more comfortable sitting like this, also it's fine. Just make sure that you are able to make an eye contact. And you're comfortable,
Understood.
right? So I think these are
I think Coffee with Karan. Such a huge production set. You need Manik on your set, guys.
I even tell this, I even say this for Mr. Narendra Modi, that, if you can hire me for a day, I'll just tell you that you don't shake hands. Shake your hand with me.
I'm getting so scared doing that.
So, he has this habit of putting his hand on top like this and
Yeah.
shaking it again.
Yeah.
So now, internationally, as a handshake etiquette, it's very wrong to put your hand on top, because that
Okay.
shows dominance.
Ah.
Yeah. So, you're
I would
trying
never
to be,
known.
yeah. So you're trying to put another hand on top.
So subconsciously somewhere
Yes.
that's coming across.
Yes. So world over, this is, not considered very polite. It's a bit too overpowering. You're kind of projecting your power.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's nice to meet people warmly, but know how much to put out there. So, these things are they just help you come across as more considerate.
Yeah.
And mindful, more than anything else.
Love it. Manik, so of course, it's the hot buzzing, job to have these days, to be a content creator, and it's a fun job. So if somebody wants to follow in your footsteps, what advice would you give them?
I personally feel, like I told you earlier, you should be passionate about what you are doing as a content creator. You have to do something you really believe in, even if there is not a single person. Like when I started, not a single person was inclined towards what I'm doing today. And today you see, you know yourself, right? There's so many of us. So be passionate about it. Be sure to have the knowledge about it. If you are using Google or Wikipedia or ChatGPT to kind of, get the content out and you're speaking it in front of the camera, it won't help.
People will catch it.
People will catch it. And why would people listen to you? It's all available there.
Yeah.
Have a style of your own. Be original. It really helps. A lot of times I'm very grateful and very indebted to people who see my content, and if they see a person lifting that content, I mean, I have no problems with it, because at the end of the day, it's just awareness is being created. But when I see other people, when they see other people doing what I do, they would even write there that you've taken this from Manik, Mindful Living by Manik. They'll tag me and they say, they have taken your... So originality is very important. Have your own sense of style. Don't copy someone. Be your own, do your own thing in your own style. That's important. And a very important thing, the last thing that I want to tell people is that take that first step.
Yeah, true.
Take that first step.
Yeah.
I did not know I of Instagram. We were all learning. I thought I can learn. So I learned from my children. I learned how to post a story. Gradually I learned how to post a reel also. And then a normal post. So you are learning. Make mistakes. Mistakes, but learn and keep going. Everybody started once and everybody makes mistakes. And it's just all right, even if it's not that good a video. It's an average video. Put it out there, see the response. Sometimes I'm telling you, Suti, my worst videos get the maximum likes. And my best videos from my end, which I think are really nice,
are not doing well.
They don't get that kind of feedback.
Yeah.
But something very average also picks up. So you never know. There is an audience for everything out there.
I love that.
Right? So just start. And no investment needed. Just put your phone. Till now, I don't have a professional camera. I just got gifted one camera.
Oh, really? So it's all been like a one-woman army, Manik and her phone.
Yes. And that's why, because
there's
nobody in the room. I do mistakes and I delete it. And then I make another one. I'm not even embarrassed.
Yeah.
And I'm not even tiring somebody else whose poor thing is trying to record me. And so, you're not even hassled. Because, when you see somebody else in discomfort also, that, oh, poor guy, sorry, I'll do it again. Sorry, I'll do it. You're bothering someone, it bothers you. So when you are all by yourself, you can make as many mistakes. There's no one to catch you, no one to just, you're not harming anybody. So I think it works well. And if I can do it, anyone can do it.
I love that. It's literally about taking that first step and consistently building.
Yes. And you never know what unfolds.
So, Manik, this has been such an enriching conversation. We've learned so much from you. But we can't let you go without having some more fun. So this is a very quick, fun segment, which is called This or That. I'm going to give you two options, and without thinking, you have to tell me
this or that.
What do you like?
Okay.
So, because this is following our conversation, my first question for This or That is Rajma or curry?
Oh God, this is so tough. Rajma.
Rajma. Okay. Maybe that's
I'm going for it.
Maybe that's why you got fired.
And the trolling connection with it. Yeah.
Okay. Comedy or drama?
Comedy any day.
Love that. Books or movies?
Books.
Okay. Nice. Old school. Instagram or Snapchat?
Instagram.
Anything?
I'm not very good at Snapchat. I tried, but I thought that it's too young for me.
You're an Instagram girl. I'm asking you this, do I still know the answer? But still, here we go. Sneakers or high heels? Or heels?
Heels.
Look at that.
Very predictable.
Yeah. Sneak into your past or have a peek into your future?
Sneak into my past.
Love it.
Because I think maybe I can do something about things for a better future.
I love that. Okay, so our last and final question to you on our podcast. What does the hashtag because she can mean to you?
I think for me, it simply means if I can, anyone can. And she, being a woman, being a female, I think God has really given her immense strength. And the fact that she can derive the biggest lessons and the biggest strength for her life from her failures and her shortcomings and her mistakes and her pains and sorrows. I don't think she can, because she can.
That is one of the most insightful and deep answers we've had on the podcast. Thank you so much, Manik, for taking out your time.
Thank you.
And we have a little memento which we want to give from us to you.